Good Monday morning, everybody, and we are in August now. It's August 2nd, and it's going to be the warm month of the year, though it's actually much cooler now than we've had. So praise God for that cooler weather. Um, and I hope the live stream didn't just take a hiccup because my phone just did. So I apologize for that if there was a little bit of a hiccup right there. So we are going to jump into the third chapter of First Thessalonians today, looking at the first five verses only. This is continuing on from where we left off on Saturday morning. Remember, Paul is saying that the Thessalonians are his and Timothy's and Silas's joy. Truly, you are our glory and our joy, but that he's been worrying about them and that he's been prevented from coming to see them. That he says that Satan had prevented him, blocked him from being able to get there. And of course, we bear in mind all the way through this what the circumstances were when they founded that church and that they got drove out of town in a short order and weren't there that long. And they know that there's opposition in that community towards that new church, so they're concerned about them, that they might acquiesce or succumb to the pressure of the culture. That's a concern today for the church, for crying out loud. We really need to be concerned. I think the church is succumbing to the culture in many places, in many ways. So that's another story for another day. But chapter 3, we're going to look at the first 5 verses, is continuing on, and he's lamenting to them in this letter to them. And here he's talking about Athens, and remember that's where he was when he sent Timothy and back to them, and not that's where he's writing the letter from. So, okay, all right, let's look at chapter 3, 1 through 5. When we could not wait any longer, we decided it was best to stay in Athens alone and send Timothy to you. Timothy, our brother, works with us for God and helps us tell people the good news about Christ. We sent him to strengthen and encourage you in your faith, so none of you would be upset by these troubles. You yourselves know that we must face these troubles. Even when we were with you, we told you we all would have to suffer, and you know it has happened. Because of this, when I could wait no longer, I sent Timothy to you so I could learn from your faith. I was afraid the devil had tempted you, and perhaps our hard work would have been wasted, been to no avail, or to been in vain there. Again, we remember this story from our study in Acts. And remember, they left Paul in Acts. Here, it's kind of, it doesn't seem it's a little ambiguous. But in Acts, it seems they just left Paul in Athens by himself. And remember, at that time I commented, who thought that was a good idea to leave Paul by himself anywhere, much less in Athens? Perhaps they thought he would just fit, blend into the landscape. But Paul doesn't seem to want to be a blend-in kind of guy. He doesn't seem to be a low-profile guy. He seems to attract attention, and he did in Athens. But that's back in Acts. So Timothy, of course, and we know that Timothy is a leader. He's one of his prime companions. Excuse me, my throat's a little bit weird this morning. And so he has sent Timothy back, worrying about this church. Again, remember, he wanted to go himself, as we just said a minute ago when we said on Saturday, but he was blocked and prevented, and he was concerned that evil was using that time that they weren't able to get back to them to undermine all the hard work they had done. But as he had implied on Saturday, but here it's more explicit, I think. It'll be more explicit tomorrow. Excuse me. But here he's still in this stage of wonderment. What's going on with that church? And he really shouldn't be, because God, we plant seeds, we water them, and we need to sometimes move away. But Paul's coming back to water again, and we do need to do that. But we don't need to worry. We need to try to keep ourselves from worrying about God taking care of things. God will take care of his people. Eventually, it all will work out for the glory of God. Even though in this day and age, we look at it and become concerned, as I mentioned earlier. We can take encouragement from here, even in Thessalonica, where things look so grim. The church is flourishing, or is going to be flourishing, and Paul is going to find out that evil cannot prevail against the glory of God. So that's where I'm going to leave you at, a short one for Monday morning, partly because my throat is giving me grief here, and I'm just going to let you go with that. We'll pick up from here tomorrow and talk more about what Paul finds out when Timothy comes back to report to him. Okay? Have a very blessed day, and please be a blessing to someone today. And don't forget, if you're on the decorations committee for the Christmas decorations, we do have a meeting tonight at 5. And if you would like to be involved in the security committee, if you're not currently on that committee and would like to be, we're meeting tonight at 7 p.m. There was an error on the calendar. Not meeting here in an hour. We're meeting tonight at 7. Okay? Have a blessed one, and hopefully I'll see you later. And see you in the morning if nothing else. Bye-bye. God bless.